You ever stop to think about the most powerful, most consistent force in your life? I mean, it's not love, it's not ambition, it's gravity. It's this invisible sculptor that has shaped every single cell in your body, every bone, every muscle, right from the moment life first sparked into existence. So, what happens when that force changes?
Well, our best clue actually comes from astronauts. When we send them up into microgravity, near 0 G, we get to see what happens when that constant, lifelong resistance just vanishes. It's a fascinating and honestly a kind of terrifying natural experiment.
And the results? They're crystal clear. Our bodies, which are perfectly tuned for life here at 1 G, they just start to, well, break down. Bones lose density, muscles waste away. Even our sense of balance gets all thrown off. See, every part of us is built to fight gravity, and when there's no fight left, we get weaker, which, of course, gets you thinking, what if the fight were even harder?
Okay, so let's step away from the reality of spaceflight and jump into the world of theory. Just imagine a world kind of like ours, but way outside our cozy little Goldilocks zone of gravity. A super Earth with a much, much stronger gravitational pull. If life actually evolved there, what kind of blueprint would it even follow? A team of researchers actually sat down and ran the numbers on this exact scenario. They pictured a habitable planet with twice the surface gravity of Earth. That's 2 G. Every step you take, every breath, every single heartbeat would be twice as difficult. So here's where it gets really cool. We can use the laws of physics and biology to kind of reverse engineer a creature that would be perfectly suited for this environment. It's basically a thought experiment in evolutionary engineering.
To survive in 2 G, any complex life form would need some serious upgrades. You'd be talking a much stronger skeleton, a totally different way of standing and moving, a supercharged internal engine, and it would probably have to give up speed just to stay stable. Okay, so first up, the skeleton. To handle double the weight without just snapping, the cross-sectional area of the bones would literally have to double. But just making them thicker isn't enough. To lower the risk of fractures, they would also evolve to be about 30% shorter. Stronger, sure, but way more compact.
And check this out. This graph just perfectly illustrates the change in leg structure. Here on Earth, at 1 G, our legs have a certain length and angle that's great for moving around. But on a 2 G planet, the physics shows that the best design is shorter, stockier, and straighter, acting more like a solid column just to support all that immense weight.
Right, now for the engine inside, the heart would have to pump blood against twice the downward force. The analysis suggests this would need about double the blood volume, plus a much larger, more powerful heart and organs to get it all moving. We're talking a true high-performance system.
So what you end up with, this theoretical super-Earthling, is basically a biological tank. It's shorter, more compact, incredibly strong, but also slower. A creature perfectly, beautifully, and logically adapted to a life of immense pressure. But what happens when you take a creature that isn't adapted and you drop it into that environment? And now we leave the world of theory and we head into the lab. What happens when you take life that evolved for 1 G, like us, and you suddenly stick it in a high-gravity environment? Does it get stronger or does it break? Well, it turns out 2 landmark experiments give us a startlingly clear and kind of contradictory answer. In one, scientists put fully grown adult mice in a 2 G centrifuge. In another, they placed newborn rat pups into 1.65 G right from the moment they were born. The outcomes? Yeah, they could not have been more different.
Okay, get ready for a surprise. The adult mice, after a little while of getting used to it, didn't just survive, they actually thrived. The constant stress of 2 G was like the most intense workout ever. Their muscles grew, and as you can see right here in this image on the left, their bones became way denser and stronger compared to the 1 G control group on the right. Their bodies adapted. But for the newborn rats, well, the story is a total tragedy. For them, hypergravity wasn't a challenge they could overcome. It was just an overwhelming, crushing force. Over half of the pups that were exposed to 1.65 G from birth didn't make it. And when you dig into the data, the story gets even darker. The mortality rate just skyrocketed from about 11% in the control group to over 53%. And look at the cause of death. Cannibalism jumped like crazy, which suggests the mothers, under such immense physical stress themselves, consumed the weakest pups just to survive. The whole system wasn't just stressed, it was pushed way past its breaking point.
So what is going on here? How can the exact same force, hypergravity, make one animal stronger while it kills another? Well, the answer lies in the huge difference between evolution and short-term adaptation.
Think of it this way. Evolution is like a slow, deliberate architect. Over millions of years, it designs a perfect genetic blueprint for a very specific environment. The body is built from the ground up to thrive there. Physiological stress, on the other hand, is a rapid emergency response. It's an organism's body trying desperately to cope with conditions it was never, ever designed for.
And that right there, that solves our paradox. The super-Earthling would be perfectly at home in 2G, because every single gene it has was selected for that world. The adult mice could adapt because their systems were already fully built, but the newborn rats, whose bodies were still in the middle of developing, they were just overwhelmed. Their blueprint was for the wrong world entirely.
So when you put all of this together, it gives us a really profound insight into the role gravity plays, not just in our day-to-day lives, but for the potential of life absolutely everywhere.
So here's the bottom line, the crucial point you got to remember. Over eons, evolution adapts, creating new forms. But within a single lifetime, physiology reacts, pushing the existing form to its absolute limit.
So let's just recap what we've figured out. Our bodies are basically defined by their constant fight against gravity. Take it away, and we get weaker. Add more, and you can trigger a strengthening response in a mature body. But, and this is the big one, for life that is just beginning, that same extra force can be absolutely deadly. All of this points to a fascinating idea. Just like with temperature and water, there might be a very, very narrow Goldilocks zone for gravity too.
And that leaves us with one final massive question. We've seen just how dramatic the difference is between 1G and 2G. It really makes you wonder, as we search for life on other worlds, how razor-thin is that line a planet has to walk? How absolutely perfect must the pull of gravity be for the miracle of complex life to even get started?